Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 24th, the memorial of St. Francis de Sales. And this is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. Michigan is gearing up for its presidential primary on February 27th, but the Republican Party will be calculating delegates differently. I'll explain shortly, but first, your local weather and this news. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and other Democrats are warning women of a potential national abortion ban if former President Donald Trump wins the White House in November. She spoke in Detroit yesterday on the 51st anniversary of Roe v. Wade.
3 years ago, no one would have ever thought Roe v. Wade would have been overturned. So I'm not going to play the hypothetical game and say, oh, is it or isn't it realistic? It's possible, and if it's possible, we can't rest on our laurels.
Michigan Right to Life Executive Director Amber Roseboom says Democrats are overplaying their hand on abortion.
They're hoping abortion is their ticket to victories in November, and I just don't think they're going to see that. They've gotten out of step with where voters are, and I think you're going to see that.
Michigan voters established a right to abortion in the state constitution in 2022. The man accused of killing synagogue president Samantha Wohl in Detroit was back in court yesterday. The preliminary hearing for Michael Jackson Bolanos will determine if he will be bound over for trial on murder and other charges in Wohl's death. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, and his attorney says he may be a victim of circumstance and that police arrested the wrong person. Prosecutors say he killed Wohl when she came home and discovered him inside. He faces life in prison if convicted of the murder charge. As her trial begins, the mother of the convicted Oxford, Michigan school shooter wants the judge in her trial to order her son to testify. Lisa Taylor has more.
Her lawyers are also asking the judge to order 3 psychiatrists her son talked to after the shooting to testify as well. The son's lawyers confirmed Tuesday he would not be waiving privilege or confidentiality, so his medical records would not be used at his parents' trials. The parents are both being tried separately for charges of involuntary manslaughter after they bought their son the gun he used in the incident where 4 people were killed and 7 others were injured in 2021.
Police are applauding community members after they helped rescue a 12-year-old boy who fell through ice on a pond. The incident happened yesterday morning near the Cabela's store in Dundee. A delivery driver heard the boy yelling for help and called 911. Police say they arrived on scene, grabbed a flotation device, and 2 Good Samaritans were able to help the officers pull the boy to safety. The Midland Center for the Arts is set to receive almost $2 million in federal funding for repairs and construction of a new museum space. The $1.9 million allocation, facilitated by FEMA, comes as a result of a federal disaster declaration secured for Midland County after the May 2020 flood caused by dam failures. And Detroit's Cathedral of the Most Blessed Sacrament is set to unveil its Journey with the Saints project on February 8th. The project includes 14 larger-than-life statues of Christ's 12 apostles, accompanied by first-class relics. Archbishop Alan Vigneron and Father J.J. Meck will dedicate the installation during a special event. The cathedral aims to become an apostolic center, transforming into a hub of missionary activity and beauty. The statues, carved in 1927 from a single tree trunk, were rescued from a closed church and installed in December. The cathedral's ongoing projects also include a grotto dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary, a garden walk, and construction of Cathedral Arts apartments for low-income Detroiters. Now this. Today in the Motor City, expect areas of morning fog followed by rain, with temperatures holding steady in the upper 30s. Tonight will be cloudy with a chance of rain after midnight, and temperatures remain in the mid-30s. Tomorrow, rain is likely with a consistent temperature in the upper 30s. That rain continues into the evening and tapers off after midnight. The weekend will be cloudy with temperatures ranging from the mid-30s to the lower 40s. Today in the Saginaw Valley, expect morning fog followed by rain with highs in the upper 30s. Tonight will be cloudy with a 50% chance of rain and temperatures staying near the mid-30s. Tomorrow, morning chance of rain followed by likely rain in the afternoon with temperatures remaining in the mid-30s. That rain will taper off around midnight with temperatures holding steady in the mid-30s. The weekend and early next week will be consistently cloudy with temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. As the 2024 election gears up, votes being cast in the Michigan Republican primary are going to be calculated differently this year than in years past. Last year, the Democratic-controlled legislature and Governor Whitmer moved Michigan's primary to February 27th. The Republican National Committee, however, has a rule that says most states are not allowed to move their primary before March 1st. Otherwise, their votes won't be counted at the National Convention. Because of this, the GOP needed to make a change. Here's how the primary is going to work this year. Registered Republicans or independents voting in the Republican primary will vote as normal on February 27th. Michigan has 55 delegates that it can use at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee later this year. 16 of those delegates will be awarded based on the February 27th primary. Each candidate who earns more than 12.5% of the vote will receive 2 of the 16 delegates. For every additional 6.25%, he or she will receive 1 more. Any remaining delegates will go to the overall winner. The remaining 39 delegates will be decided by a convention on March 2nd at Huntington Place in Detroit. Party members from each of Michigan's 13 congressional districts will meet and vote by district for the candidate they want to award delegates to. Each district has 3 delegates. If a candidate wins an outright majority, he or she gets all 3 delegates for that district. If there's no majority, the top candidate gets 2 delegates, and the second candidate gets 1. If you want to attend the convention on March 2nd, you may be out of luck unless you're an active member in local party politics. Voting members will be selected by their local chapters of the GOP on February 15th. This all comes as the Michigan GOP navigates a series of crises, including a nearly empty bank account, as reported last year by the Detroit News, and confusion as to who is actually in charge of the party. A January poll from Local 4 in the Detroit News found that voters were more likely to vote for Donald Trump than President Biden by an 8-point margin. However, that same poll found that more than a third of voters said they were somewhat likely or likely to vote for a third-party candidate. We'll keep you updated on the results of Michigan's primary election right here on Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. St. Francis de Sales says it is therefore an error and even a heresy to wish to exclude the exercise of devotion from military divisions, from the artisan shops, from the courts of princes, from family households. Therefore, in whatever situations we happen to be, we can and we must aspire to the life of perfection. That's going to do it for this edition of Michigan Mornings on Ave Maria Radio. I'm Matthew Handley, and Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.